Ultimate Key to Happiness, Chapter 6, The Truth Virus. You're probably familiar with the term virus as it applies to human body and computers. As it relates to the body, when a virus is introduced to the body, it interacts with cells in the body and has a harmful or corrupting influence on them. In short, it changes how the cells in the body function. As it relates to a computer, a virus is a piece of computer code introduced into a computer system that has detrimental effect, such as corrupting files, deleting files, and destroying data. In short, it changes how the computer functions. In both cases, one element interacts with the other elements and has profound impact on them that spreads quickly. Viruses in the body and on computers are viewed as having negative or damaging impacts. Here we will discuss the virus that operates in a similar way but has positive or supportive impact. I call it the truth virus. A virus in the body affects its cells. A virus on a computer affects data, files, and programs. The truth virus affects the database, programs, and algorithms of the mind machine. As you discovered in the previous chapter, the pure raw experience of emotion always appears first. When the mind machine hijacks it, bounds a judgmental story to it that you become aware of and accept. The pure raw experience, true happiness, is still here. It hasn't been destroyed or damaged. It's just bounded to the mind machine's judgmental story, like oxygen is bonded to hydrogen in water. The truth virus operates in two stages. Right now, the database of the mind machine contains all sorts of stories about what various emotions are called, which ones are positive and which ones are negative, etc. In the first stage, the truth virus goes into the mind machine database and separates the pure raw experiences from the stories they are bonded to. In the second stage, the truth virus prevents new stories from being bonded to pure raw experiences going forward. Viruses in the body and on computers can strike quickly, but they still take time to have full impact. It's the same with the truth virus, although it can take quite a bit longer to work its particular form of magic. No matter how long it takes, the truth virus works its way through the data stored in the mind machine database, selectively deleting and altering entries. The truth virus also works its way through the programs and algorithms in the mind machine, deleting programs, rewriting programs, installing new programs, and altering algorithms. You may or may not be aware of it, but it happens with Google all the time without a virus being involved. The data in the Google database is constantly changing, which constantly changes the search results. In addition, Google changes its programs and algorithms several times a year to ensure that it's delivering the best possible search results, and so savvy internet marketers or computer programmers can gain unfair advantages. The bottom line is that every time the Google database, programs, and algorithms change, search results change dramatically too. It's the same with the mind machine. There are two ways of introducing the truth virus into the mind machine. I'll discuss the first option in this chapter. The second option, which involves going beyond this book, will be discussed in a later chapter called At the Red Pill. It probably won't surprise you to discover that this book contains a strain of the truth virus within, and that the truth virus may have already been introduced into your mind machine. Up until now, the mind machine has been running on its own, on autopilot, performing its magic trick on the flow of emotional energy in inner space. You've been aware of the output and the judgmental story, and you have been experiencing positive and negative emotions as a result. Up until now, you never took a close look at what's happening. You never questioned the accuracy of the stories kicked out by the mind machine. So, just by reading this book to this point, two things are happening. First, the data in the mind machine has changed. It now has data that was never there before. It now contains data that says positive and negative emotions don't exist. that it all just movements of energy and an explanation of how the mind machine works. Because the mind machine always scans its database when attempting to answer 3 questions that drive it. The simple introduction of what we've discussed here so far can create massive changes in how the mind machine operates. I'll be discussing this dynamic in greater detail on a later chapter called Jumping the Gap. Second, as a result of a new data being added to the mind machine database and the continued operation of the truth virus, programs and algorithms in the mind machine will be added, deleted, and rewritten. Therefore, when the mind machine observes things happening in the inner space and storage space, it will start answering and responding to the first 2 questions differently. Just because you read this book and had the truth virus introduced into your mind machine, as the truth virus does its work, and the content of the inner space begin to change, 2 things will happen. The mind machine will observe changes first, and second, you will begin to witness the changes. The double witnesses dynamic will enhance and turbo change the impact of the truth virus as it continues to its work. As you become more and more aware of what's happening in inner space, you'll also begin to actually witness the mind machine story separating from the pure raw emotional experience. It is a major cool experience, a great day when that happens. Ultimately, the changes in the inner space will manifest and will become aware when them without you doing anything, using any sort of technique, practicing, etc. But to support the process, I would like to invite you to perform an exercise right now. The exercise has 5 steps. Step 1. I want you to verify through your own experience what I've shared so far. So in a minute, I want you to put this book down, close your eyes, and become aware of inner space. In this first space, all I want you to do is to verify when you look into inner space, you instantly become aware of a gigantic space that has no beginning, no end, no boundaries, no significant up, down, from, back, right, left. Stop reading right now, perform this step of the exercise, and pick up the book and move to step 2. Are you still reading? If so, please stop and perform the first step of the exercise as I revealed before. If you just read and allow everything I shared to swirl at the idea, concept, and intellectual level, you'll miss out on a great gift. Step 2. Close your eyes again and observe inner space. If you notice emotional energy moving in a certain way at a specific frequency, witness it and verify that what I said about movement and frequency is accurate from your own personal experience. We're going to check that now.